Good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again, my YouTube channel. Today I'm talking about Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, of course, formed in Leyton, East London in 1975. What a great year for music. That's also the year that I was born. I get it. And the band's discography has grown to 41 albums. As pioneers of the new wave of British heavy metal movement, Iron Maiden achieved initial success during the early 80s. And as of 2021, the band's catalogue has sold over 200 million copies. 200 million copies worldwide, despite minimal radio and mainstream media support, making them basically the ultimate cult band. Kiss co-founder Paul Stanley noted that Iron Maiden have helped spawn an entire genre of music and influenced literally thousands of other artists. I think all of that is completely true. You've got to love the Iron Maidens. You just have to. Let me sing the theme tune, and then we'll talk about this bit of news that's emerged. Justin Hawkins writes again. I was going to wear an Iron Maiden t-shirt for this, but I don't have an Iron Maiden t-shirt clean. Instead, I chose to wear this blouson. I picked it up for next to nothing. It says on the front, Warner Home Video. And on the back, it has the logo for Freejack emblazoned across it. Remember that movie, Freejack? Do you remember that? It's a film in which Emilio Estevez plays a racing car driver he dies tragically by, I don't know, I think his car flies up into a billboard or something like that, explodes. But just before the car explodes, I think Anthony Hopkins somehow gets his body out of the car, and then I think he's supposed to sort of transplant a rich person's soul into the body of Emilio Estevez, who's a prime athlete anyway, and even at that time. And also, you know, devilishly handsome as well. So I think a rich person wanted to have his body to walk around in the future. So they put Emilio Estevez's soul, or they were going to put Emilio Estevez's soul into the soul switchboard. But he escapes, and then the rest of the movie is Mick Jagger, who's basically Anthony Hopkins' enforcer, chasing Emilio Estevez around in a tank, saying things like, "You can't get away from me that easily," and all that sort of stuff. It's brilliant. Great movie. Let's talk about Bruce Dickinson. So he is alleged to have said, "If tomorrow I don't feel able to sing more than 4 songs a night, I'd like the guys to continue. And I should be able to choose my replacement." And if you take those remarks out of context, it sounds like he's sort of bracing his audience for some quite startling news, doesn't it? He's basically saying, "Prepare yourselves, my children. I will not be here forever, but rest assured that when I do, I'll make sure the next person is nearly as good as me." That's basically what he's saying. These remarks were made to a journalist that works for the Daily Star, which I think gives you an idea of how... That's tabloid. That's a British tabloid newspaper. And I think the way that they have always operated is that they look for a sensational angle to hang a story on, even when there isn't a story. So the first thing I wonder is, why was Bruce Dickinson talking to a journalist from the Daily Star? The only reason why I think, you know, the lead singer from a band that sold 200 million albums would talk to somebody from the British tabloid newspaper would be because he's promoting something. So it might be a tour, or, you know, the next phase of Iron Maiden recording, or it's probably not just going to be a profile piece, is the point I'm making, because profile has never been what Iron Maiden's about. Iron Maiden is about a cult following that feverishly consumes everything that they produce and go and see them play in these enormous venues, and they don't need the traditional sort of media to maintain their profile. They'll always have a following, and it'll be a huge following, and they'll always be successful, regardless of who's singing. Actually, they've had free singers before. There's the guy they replaced Bruce Dickinson with when was it? He left for 6 years so that he could pursue his solo career. And they replaced him with this really cool guy.
We must remind you, Maiden had 3 vocalists prior to Dickinson joining, and Dickinson once famously left the band in 1993 to focus on his solo career. He was absent from Iron Maiden for a period of 6 years, during which time Blaze Bayley served as his replacement. The band would release 2 albums during Blaze's tenure, including 1995's The X Factor and 1998's Virtual X1.
So Blaze Bayley stepped in and replaced Bruce Dickinson last time he decided to have some time away from Iron Maiden. That's a guy with an exceptional look. He really is cool. I'm looking at a photograph of him here. When I eventually reach an age where, my hair begins to migrate, it will migrate downwards in the same way that Blaze's has. It will... This little bit here, there'll be an island of hair that's just isolated. It'll go bald around the sides, and there'll be bald on the top. And then that bit there will eventually disappear. I can't grow sideburns yet. I feel like when I can grow sideburns, that's going to be when it all goes wrong up the top. Blaze Bayley is super leaned into his one because his hair has migrated further down than most people's do. He hasn't even got that bit around the side, which I would have. He's got just 2 equilateral triangles of hair that form sideburns in front of his ears, and that's it. It looks fucking awesome. He's really cool. So I'm not worried about Iron Maiden. I think, first of all, this is not a story. This is just the Daily Star making a mountain out of a molehill, because that's what British tabloids do. It's their raison d'être. And whilst the comments have been taken out of context, I feel the context that we have to remember is the fact that it's a UK tabloid. So it means nothing at all. I don't think Bruce Dickinson's going anywhere. He's basically just saying, I can still sing. You'll know when I can't sing anymore because I'll just stop singing and somebody else will be doing it instead, and it'll be somebody that he chooses. So I really don't think that anybody needs to get the knickers in a twist about this. One of these remarks that I've seen in reaction to that news was that the timing was interesting because of what happened recently with Kiss being allegedly exposed for the use of some sort of backing tracks to assist them when their vocals aren't quite up to scratch live, and also the Bon Jovi situation that's unfolding. But I don't think that is what's interesting about it, really, because that's going to be the context in which the journalist has asked Bruce Dickinson to make a remark like this. So all I can say is there's nothing to say, really. Iron Maiden will continue to be the unstoppable force, and Bruce Dickinson will be the immovable object until such a time as he doesn't feel like doing it anymore. And then he'll just sit back and enjoy. If it was me, I would just sit back and enjoy the proceeds of that 200 million album sales. I'd fly my planes or do whatever it is that he likes doing. And there's really nothing to say about it. So, congratulations, Iron Maiden. I look forward to seeing you at out there on the ice, perhaps. Justin Hawkins rides again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash that button there. It looks like a bell. It's the notifications one. And then watch one of these 2 videos. And fear not, if you have a ticket to go and see Iron Maiden, they're going to be fucking amazing because there's nothing to worry about. All right, nice one, guys. See you on the ice.